Great. That's what we like to hear. Okay. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to our connection call. So, I wrote down a few things that we could talk about today, but as always, it's our connection call, and we can have a good time talking about the week and the weeks to come. So, if you have anything to bring today, please make sure you're talking and asking and connecting. Right?
My favorite, Jen.
Ooh, what is that one? Oh, the candy.
Oh, give me candy, dude. He was like, "We're just gonna throw this away. It doesn't smell good." And I'm like, "It's next month's end of the month. We can't throw it away."
We liked it. I did not expect to like it at all. I was like, oh no, this is gonna be like candy corn and like when you just throw all the candy in the bag at once. That's what I thought it was gonna smell like.
I don't hate it.
Like,
It's definitely like butterscotch,
yeah,
but I don't hate it. Tony does not like it.
Chris liked it. He's like, it smells like your oatmeal scotchy cookies. And I was like, does that smell good then? I don't know. Do my cookies smell good?
I always feel like for fall, for that like scent of the month, they always throw one curveball in there where you're like, I don't understand this one. And
Fairy
it's
tale
fall.
pumpkin.
Oh, that was atrocious.
How did it come back, you guys? How did it come back?
I think it's because their stock is so high because nobody bought it. They're like, this has to be cataloged so we can unload it.
Maybe.
That's just
all right. I'm gonna mute so that I don't bother you guys while I'm doing all this stuff. But I just want to say hi.
Oh, I love it. Okay, so I wrote down a couple things that we can talk about because we are starting to near the end of the month. We're not quite there yet, but we are getting there. So in everything we've talked about in the collective this month, I thought we've had some really, really awesome dialogue going this month. Ideas. We've talked a lot about creativity and adding that. Oops, hold on. Let me bring someone in. Adding that creative element, but we've also talked about connecting authentically with our customers and our team and making sure that we're keeping that, hey Courtney, at the forefront of our businesses. So I was thinking this morning what's something that we could maybe chat about. And we know not only are we in the travel incentive period, not only are we about ready to launch the harvest collection, but we're also in the busiest months of our businesses. So there are a few emotions that can come with that in addition to excitement. Overwhelm can be one that's right next to it, right? Like sometimes it's hard to tell the difference between excitement and being overwhelmed with all of the wonderful options that we currently have right now. So, with that in mind, I kind of wanted to talk about how we could finish August really strong, but with those proponents in mind of keeping our customers first, keeping that authentic connection, but getting really excited about what's to come and finishing what we already have strong. So, for when I think about that, I think of maybe adding that creative element to it, right? Not everybody is ready to announce the harvest collection because you're still trying to work with what you've got. So we're kind of in a fine balance where, and neither option is wrong, right? The most wonderful thing about this business is it's yours. So it's your pace for your race. So you get to make those decisions. But if you're sitting in a time where you want to finish out the month, I thought maybe collectively we could brainstorm together about how you are all finishing that month, again, with keeping in mind kind of those authentic connections and not pushing too hard, but rather pulling in a little more forcefully, if you will, to get things ready. So, does anybody have an idea or would like to share what their plan is for finishing the month? Aces, I have some ideas.
Well, my
Great.
sorry, I finished my month, so I'm now sharing fall. But what I really focused on was, and I think we talked about this last week, but it seemed to help. Those that aren't ready for fall customer wise, like I have a lot that are like, it's August, what are we doing? And so I've been picking out stuff from the catalog that's not fall themed. I've been finding different 6-packs of waxes that are regular everyday catalog, but not necessarily fall. So Johnny Appleseed, Ella Water and Cucumber, Amazon Rain, picking 6-packs. I've been sharing warmers that have maybe been in the catalog prior or even the new ones, because like the ombre and a lot of those aren't, to me, don't seem fall. They just fit with everyday decor. So I've been pairing a warmer and 3 waxes and privately sharing it in my VIP too, but privately sharing it like, hey, I know you're not a fall person. And there's some people that don't do Halloween.
Yeah.
Like they don't do Halloween. So showing them a whole harvest catalog is like, there's two warmers that are non-fall themed. That's not the harvest catalog, but that are not fall themed. So I've been really just focusing on like that farewell to summer, perhaps, or whatever, say la vie summer, like some kind of cute little theme that is kind of saying goodbye to my favorite season. I love summer. And then my mystery boxes are kind of geared towards that as well, like saying goodbye to the summer season. So I'm kind of just focusing on that more than the 10 brand new scents. Those are all heavily fall. I know the blackberry spice isn't as much, but I still feel like spice that just instantly makes me think fall. And so I've been staying away from a lot of those. Obviously, the people that got catalogs got the new scents, but I'm not focusing on them yet because for me, it's too early.
I think there's so much wisdom in that too, because so many of us do choose to carry some inventory, right, for different purposes. And when there is a catalog change like this, it is wise to be thinking, what am I going to do with what I already have before we start thinking forward about what am I going to do with what's to come. So I love those ideas, Brandy. That's so amazing. I also really love the idea of mystery bags. If you guys do have some summer inventory that you're looking to unload, if you will, mystery bags are such a fun way to not just get rid of that inventory as well, but to engage with customers and new customers. I have found personally when I do mystery bags, that is when I am more likely to get a new referral because they're like, oh my gosh, I unpacked this. It was so awesome. Do you have another one? I'd love to get my mom involved, or I'd love to get my sister-in-law involved. So kind of what we've been talking about all month is, kind of broadening the spectrum of moving from one sale to many. And so a great way to do that is to think about what you have around you right now before you start looking forward too much yet as well. Because we still have, I'm going to butcher this because I really don't even know what day it is. What, almost a complete week yet. We have 6 days left yet of this month. So that is still a long time to unpack what you still have and to hit some numbers this month if you're not done yet before we start forward thinking. And the other thing is where it gets a little confusing this time of year is how to use your rewards, right? Because we all know what's coming and we all know it's already here. So it's kind of using wisdom of how can I capitalize the most on my current rewards without having products sit or moving too quickly for your customers. Because like Brandy said, it's not just about us, but a lot of our customers just aren't quite. Don't look at me. I'm like ready to go trick or treating tonight. I'm here for it, but not everybody is yet. Yeah. I see you, Jen. Okay, so one thing I thought I would do and I'd share because I wanted to talk about the creativity that we can bring to this business as well in terms of getting people excited about our products. I know we all know, like in the marketing standpoint, it takes someone 7 times to see or hear something before they see or hear it. So don't be afraid to duplicate things. Don't be afraid to re-show things because chances are they didn't see or hear it the first time. So something that I have been sharing time and time again right now in my VIP group are the new wax bars that are available, but maybe isn't kicking them too far into Halloween, but maybe just kind of starting to break on fall. So I think this is nothing new. This has been around since I've been a customer, but the caramel apple bundles are a super cute way to start maybe kind of putting in your VIP group. These are really fun to throw into your stories. Of course, if you are doing a personal price on it, don't nod to your price, always link your VIP page, but it's so fun to put something like this and say, come join all the fun in my VIP group. We're really kicking out the apples today or something fun. So I was able to find all of the materials at the dollar store. The little bags, the little sticks, I was able to cut them in half. So it's 2 apples per stick. And there was like 100 sticks in this thing to begin with. So, and just some cute little gingham string or ribbon. And then I did caramel apple craze and I did Johnny Appleseed, but I gave my VIPs the option to do a classic or a poison. And my poison apple is Johnny Appleseed and Cinnamon Bear. So it gives it a spicy variation to a classic. And what I saw in my VIP group is if you're giving a variation, chances are that they are going to want both. So that is something neat as well, that you are giving your customers options, but you're also upselling in the same time. But they are getting the 2 Johnny Appleseeds. So you always could, if you wanted to do a poison apple, you could do Cinnamon Bear with one of the other like falling apples so that they get 4 completely different wax bars as well. So that's something that I've started doing, and I'm starting to see response. When I was sharing the wax bars that fall is coming, I wasn't getting much response. This is really no different. I'm still sharing the wax bars because, like we just said, we know it can take people 7 times to hear what you're trying to talk about. But when it comes to a cute grab and go, people are really, really likely to grab them. Is anybody else doing something like creative that you'd like to share that is a great like grab and go, or something where customers are really perking up to something that you'd like to share? See Courtney come in.
Got my my influencer party boxes ready.
Yes, dude.
So we talked about this a couple of times about it, and it's actually the verbiage for it has changed the way that I book parties now, because for those of you guys who don't know, it's just basically a party, but I'm asking them if they want to be an influencer for Scentsy rather than a party host. And it resonated with people, and people were like, yeah, I can be an influencer. And I actually booked 5 parties in 2 days.
Dang.
Using that verbiage. And all of my boxes are going out. I have my bulk sample party today. So all of my local people are coming by. We're going to make samples and have cheese, and we're going to have some pizza and drink some wine, and it'll be great. And we'll make samples all night long. And then this weekend, my boxes will be going out to those party hosts or party influencers. And looking forward to a good harvest launch with these parties I booked.
That is amazing. I am like awestruck by this idea that you've come out with, because it is.
It wasn't me. It wasn't my idea. I think it was Vanessa Wells. She was the one that inspired it, actually. And I kind of just like fell in love with the idea of it. So
You ran with it though.
yeah,
like,
I'll be sharing the my boxes, and then I will also be sharing all of my verbiage that I use, the conversation text messages, so you guys can see the breakdown of exactly how I booked the party. And then I'll also be sharing the customized Canva links so that you guys can edit the papers that I'm putting inside of it as well.
That's
So it'll be ready to go here in about a week.
Gosh, yes, keep us all posted, because I think we're all just like salivating at what you're doing and watching it unfold.
So
And
excited.
No.
I saw Fallon, she's not on here, but I saw Fallon, she posted kind of the same thing, but like regarding the travel twist, she asked for 10 people to review it for her.
Yes.
And her post like blew up. Like people were going crazy over it. And I think they were paying. I don't know if they were, I didn't go back and look, but I don't know if they were paying for it or she was giving it to them, but people were going crazy about that. Like what a way to get a brand new product in their hands, you know?
Yes.
I thought that was really cool. So I want to do something like that.
Price point? That price point for the travel twists?
I know, exactly. And then the other thing too, I don't know if you guys are, I will say that Nomad Party helped me out so much because I've booked a couple parties off of it and I'm using some of the same stuff. I'm using the same format that we used. And I will say like this party, I've got one going this week, is the most engagement that I've had in an online party, just because of Courtney's graphics, like the apple and pumpkin and the which color would you choose, and just the verbiage that Ariel gave. Like it's just, it has been such a different kind of party, and I'm actually getting to know the people. They're real, you know, I'm learning about their families, I'm learning about their pets, I'm learning about their fragrance life. It's just, I needed that. So thank you guys for everybody participating and setting all that up. Courtney, you're amazing with the graphics as always. And it has literally changed my online parties. And now I feel more comfortable doing them, because like I said, mine fell flat on their face every single time. I've never had a good online party. So those are awesome.
And that, to my knowledge, I just went back in it yesterday to look at a couple things. I believe it's still completely open. So now is a great time if you have team members on your team that are looking for an idea, if they kind of want to see how a party has been run to fruition because it's completed, but they can kind of go back and see how the engagement was, what kind of questions were asked. And then you can even go back down into the comments and see how consultants were answering questions, which I think there was so much value to that too, because there was so much verbiage in there that I hadn't been using that I thought, wow, a small tweak to this is a game changer. Very open-ended, right? I saw so much open-endedness that it just opens that dialogue so much more. So that is a tool if you guys have new team members or yourself, if you're wanting to go up and kind of polish some verbiage or just see how that online party went, pop in there and check it out because it is worth looking through. I thought it was so valuable too. It's been an asset, even if you're not a party, like if you haven't really embraced the party realm yet, this is a, yeah, yep, me too. This is a great starting point because it kind of got the cobwebs dusted out, right? It kind of gave you a little bit more confidence that you're like, wait, this really isn't anything that I can't do. This isn't anything that I'm not already doing in my VIP page. I just haven't made it like a formal party. So definitely don't skirt away from it because someone said it not long ago. It might have even been at SFR that we are a party company. You know, at the heart of it, that is what makes Scentsy so very successful is we are a party company. And there are so many ways to run this business. That's what I love the most about it. But at the heart, if you haven't given it a try yet, I do highly encourage you to jump in, just face those fears or whatever it is that might be holding you back. Progress over perfection. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just have to get the momentum going or the ball rolling. That's where the momentum follows. So this is a great time too to talk about one of the bullet points I had written down. Something we haven't talked about in a little bit, I don't think here, is the opportunity talk as well, just because we are going into such a heightened time of our business that I can already tell, like people posting about Harry Potter, you see the comments coming with it too. Oh, I want it. Oh, I want the pre-order. So it got me thinking this week. There are a couple things I wanted to bring to the table about opportunity. And that is for you first, don't miss the opportunity to first make that sale. I think so many of us get excited to see the total and it just clicks with us. Well, they should be a team member because they'll get paid back on this for themselves. I would like to shed probably a different light on that and encourage you first to make sure that you are accepting the sale, right? That is PRV. We're in an incentive period. We're paid out on our PRV too. So don't first miss that opportunity. You've already put yourself out there. You're putting the products out there. You're doing everything right. And keep in mind your potential new team member / customer is watching how you're going to engage in this transaction with them. So don't shy away from taking the sale first. Of course, the next best thing to tell them, if their pre-order is already at $200, let's make this into a party. Let's get you a party link. Is there anybody else you know that is also a big Harry Potter fan? Possibly they do. Now we're coaching our new potential team member / customer into party starting, into what this can look like when you simply monetize the invitation to join a pre-order, right? Don't miss the opportunity to show your potential new team member how easy this really can be when they have the connections they do. If they're HP, right? If they're Harry Potter fans, they're going to know other Harry Potter fans. Y'all stick together, just like us Disnerds, right? Y'all kind of stick together. And so when they find somebody else that wants to pre-order and now their party link has earned them rewards on top of these beloved products that they're going to get, now you're showing them how this is possible and capable. This would be the time after this is completed that I would talk to them about the opportunity. I feel like so many of us are apt to say right then and there, let's go ahead and flip this for you. I think with where we're all at right now, because we're doing the work, right? We haven't started with the hostess who has brought in her friends, started the engagement, and kind of done the more traditional route. This was started by you, just by you posting pre-orders, by you showing Harry Potter. So it does change that dynamic a little bit where don't shy away from accepting that sale first, finalizing that sale, and using that as a coaching opportunity for your potential new team member to see how this can work. Because believe it or not, it's actually more of a teaching time than bringing them on, you know, having them purchase their own Harry Potter and then say, now what? If we follow the first leg, it's coaching them how, when you decide to go ahead and take this opportunity now, how they can be successful at this too. So it's not just, don't mishear me, it's not just for personal gain. It is for their own gain as well, that you are coaching them without them realizing it, how this can be successful for them. Because once they realize a simple invitation to join a pre-order, and I could have made that amount, or I could get these rewards myself all the time by being the consultant. There are so many different teaching ways when it comes to the opportunity talk than just going right for it. Does that make sense? Or am I like, I kind of feel like I might have ran over the point, backed up a couple times. So that's something, just because in this time of year and with what kind of the sheer magnitude of how quick it's all going to go, right? We know it's, once the harvest comes, we're going to be straight into holiday. Once holiday comes, it's just, we're in the thick of the actual holidays ourselves, and things are going to go quick. So making that game plan for yourself about how you want to talk to your potential customers that could be wonderful team members, start thinking about that now. Formulate a plan of how you like to talk about the opportunity, how you like to engage with your pre-orders, because the thing is, if you are starting to collect pre-orders, you have already started your list of potential team members, whether you realize it or not, because they are probably the ones who are consistently showing up for you with your pre-orders. You're probably starting to see a trend with them of what they like. And so when you start to talk about the opportunity, kind of as Brandy said, with pulling different items to show her non-fall people, you're kind of starting to pull things from the catalog to show your customer, here's why you should join, because not only are you pre-ordering this amount, but here's what's to come. And that's kind of what we talked about last week, is using those sneak peeks, not just to your advantage for PRV, but also using them to your advantage in team building. Use those pictures to say, you know, hey, if you're already ordering these 2 Harry Potter products with me, you're probably going to want to go ahead and see what's coming yet. Or same with Disney. If you had pre-orders for Alice, it's probably a great time to show them the NBC collection coming up. Speaking of NBC, how was it for you this week? That was incredible. I would probably maybe even be so bold to say that's probably the best sale I've ever seen Scentsy do. Even as like a customer myself, I've never seen them do that. I thought it was amazing. And I would also keep anybody that purchased with you this week, I would keep their name in your notebook, and you know who to reach out for when NBC Christmas launches. It's kind of setting us up for success in that way as well. What kind of questions do you guys have? Maybe if we stay on the realm of opportunity for just a little bit longer, does anybody have questions about that? Hesitations, concerns, questions, tidbits, tips, tricks?
I'm open to any and all tips and tricks, because that is where I am not the most successful. So, I mean, I have a team, I have a fantastic team, but I feel like they kind of just came to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I would say some tips and tricks that have worked for me in recruiting. I guess that's the only platform I can speak from. So something that has worked really well for me is when I start to posture myself and having this opportunity conversation with somebody new. I try to think of myself first as the consumer. What words would be buzzwords for me? What would be make me want to kind of push away from it and say, this sounds like too much? Or what would maybe pull me into it and say, I'm intrigued? So a word I choose to use when I use the opportunity talk is I refer to Scentsy as their personal portal. Are you interested in having your own Scentsy, your personal Scentsy portal that you can get paid back for your own personal purchases, and you have the ability to sell if you choose and make commission on what you sell, while also earning half-priced and free product? So buzzwords for me as a consumer are free, half-priced, personal portal. It sounds very non-invasive, right? It doesn't sound like you don't need to go into the website right away. You don't need to go into all of the word vomit, right? Sometimes we give them too much information that they talk themselves out of it almost immediately. But when we kind of posture ourselves to it's an opportunity, I personally, if it's something that you have an open party and you have the ability to use your rewards as a host kit instead of product, I use that every single time before I load my rewards. I kind of have a personal, like, I hold myself to if I have a $500 party that I am closing and I have not brought in a new team member on it, I don't want to close it yet. My goal is to, every time I close one of those, to bring on a new team member, because the other part of posturing yourself and telling them a completely a personal portal for your own use is I have a completely zero out of pocket cost opportunity for you. That is going to perk their ears immediately. Now, I have seen, some people say, they need to get skin in the game, they need to have some investment for themselves in it. I haven't always seen that to be true. Sometimes I feel like people's hesitation is wanting to make that first investment in themselves because they don't know if they'll recoup it. And that right off the bat, if that's going to hinder them from trying something that could change their world, their life, their finances, then I'm willing to give up my personal rewards as a gift, because it is a true gift in that way then, right? And I use that word when I tell them I have a kit to gift and not give, right? Because then it sounds like it's not as valuable. I have a kit to gift. It is completely zero out of pocket expense to you to try, which means that this is completely risk-free opportunity for you. Buzzwords: risk-free, zero out of pocket, gift. Then if they say I'm interested, that's when I tell them this is a completely personal portal for you to use to get paid back on your own purchases that you're already purchasing from me anyway. It is an opportunity for you to earn free and half price products as you share the products with other people. And I also let them know that selling is an option, but I leave it with an open-ended question. Are you planning, is this something that intrigues you? Is selling something that you would be interested in? Because I do want to know kind of already off the bat if they're going to be more hobbyist or if they are looking to kick this off, because that tells me then how to meet them where they're at and to continue the conversation. If they say, yeah, I would totally be willing to try and see what I could do with this, that's when you talk about the website, no monthly quotas, there's no hidden fees that we need to discuss, where if you don't hit your minimum of $200 in 1 year, you're not going to be charged to leave. And I always let them know, if this doesn't end up being something that works for you, you get to go right back to being my customer. It's a win-win for both of us. So let them know, like, already kind of map it out for them. This is either going to be wonderful and you are going to find a lot of value in it, or you can give this a try risk-free. There are no expectations from me onto you except that I'm going to be here for you every step of the way. Let's see if this is something that works for you. And if not, invite them right back into the circle. You're not going to be kicked out. I'm not going to be disappointed. This is something I'd like to gift to you and see if it's going to make an impact in your life like I did my own. So I think it is important to know at some point what their intention is to use with the kit. If they say, oh, I think it's something I would use for myself, I still feel like it is completely valuable to continue to offer them that free kit, because they don't know what they don't know. Wait until they step into the world of Scentsy. They might come in with the mindset that they're going to be a hobbyist, but they might be the one that starts to run, right? I came in because I wanted to get the Disney products for myself, and here we are. Completely shocking to me too. I was not expecting to embrace this like I did. And so we have to keep that in mind too, right? That there are people that are going to experience this completely differently than they have in their mind already. And we want to meet them where they're at. So that's kind of my advice about the opportunity. I wanted to be sure we could touch on it today, simply because we are going into massive pre-orders. Fall, this is the time. Not only will people kind of be coming out of the woodwork to be asking you about the pumpkin spice and everything nice, but it's also the time where your new people that you are inviting into this opportunity are also probably going to find the greatest success in a launch. So it really is a great time for everybody to take that risk, because there is such a higher level of success right now than sometimes launching in summer, catalog changes, etc. It's like you can opportunity talk right now with a free and clear, like, what's the word? Like, words are hard. You can go in with massive confidence because you know that you're going to be able to launch them successfully. One way or another. They're either going to fill their cart with their own pumpkin spice goodness, or they are going to be able to ask people right now about their own fall home fragrance and probably find a lot of success. How does that sound so far?
Love it. Also it just clicked is with the Christmas stuff coming up, the holiday stuff coming, a lot of people are going to be shopping for gifts. So why not use that opportunity for them to get their own business link, whatever, and get money back on the purchases that they're going to do anyways. Kind of follows the same thing, but I just thought like Christmas time is whenever, because we know we're going into this crazy season, even for that aspect is have your own portal. You're going to be shopping, you're going to get money back. And then that might even, again, no pressure, but that might also, when they start getting the checks, make them be like, oh, wait a minute, like this doesn't have to be just for me buying gifts kind of a thing. So
Yes.
I didn't even think about like using the Christmas buying gifts as getting, because I've always used the same thing, like even if you're going to do it for your own personal use, but this season could be gifting.
Yes, especially with just the position. I think not that we want to rest our laurels on things like this, but we do have to be in the know, like with what the economy is doing right now. People are going to be looking for other opportunities, especially around the holidays where they don't have to shift their way of living, right? Like the way they gift, the way they entertain, the way they host. People don't want to sacrifice that, but modifications need to be made right now for a lot of people. And this is a wonderful way where people can make a modification without changing their lifestyle. In fact, I hope that they find it will enhance their lifestyle because not only can they still do the gifting, the gathering, the hosting, but they're getting paid back on their efforts, they're gifting, and it's praise for sharing, right? Like even the smallest things, when I see some of my hobbyists or people that start out thinking that they're going to do it for themselves, even when I see them gift little things like this, I'm like, you are putting yourself out there, right? You're doing it. And then we can connect the dots that something so small as just, I just wanted to gift this to somebody who is hosting Bunko, right? Bunko is a big thing around here. It's putting yourself out there, and that shows them that very small step can lead to something so much larger. And they already did the hard work by putting themselves out there. I don't think we all give ourselves enough credit that simply making the post, giving the gift, talking about Scentsy is taking so many more steps forward than you're going to give yourself credit for. As soon as we put ourselves out there, we are opening up the invitation for people to ask us about this, for people to shop with us, for people to want to know more about what we do. So I love what you said, Randy, about that, because not only can they shop for themselves, keep their lifestyle the way they want it, but they're also, without realizing it, probably putting themselves out there in a wonderful way that can pay back as well.
Another thing for Christmas season, Brandy said something about they're purchasing gifts. One thing that I do every year is offer gift wrapping, and they go nuts for it. I have like all kinds of different styles of gift wrap because my style of gift wrap is not everybody's style, but I do add like little bows for it. And then I also have these for teachers. Let me grab it real quick. I do these little like shrink wrap bags, and you can get them really cheap on Amazon, or you can use just whatever kind of bag you have. And then these bows came in like a big bulk of them for like 50 of them for $10. And you know, I just added a cute little like tag to the back of it, and it's ready to go for teachers. And I do this with hand soaps, and I do it with bars and stuff as well. And this is my only one left over from last year, so they work really good.
Yeah.
And then you can also do wrapping that's not clear, and say, hey, it's ready to go. How do you want me to wrap it? You want it in a bag and a paper, and what kind of style? And honestly, during the busy seasons, it just takes the stress off your customers of one less thing that they have to worry about. And they love it. And not to mention, they'll start thinking about you more and more often every time, like, oh, I really need a gift. You know what? I bet Courtney can whip something up for me. And it's great. So
Yeah, I love those. They're such a good, I keep fragrance flowers on hand. I keep mini fan diffusers, pods, mini warmers and bars are what if I have rewards that I don't need. I stock up on those, especially starting now, because you get those last minute shoppers. I just got invited to an office party. I have a secret Santa. I forgot to get my kid's teacher a Christmas gift. And so I keep a lot of that. I try not to have too much product on hand, but those are the main things that I keep. Yeah, I know, Courtney, I do have a ton.
I have too much. I'm sitting in the middle of all of it right now.
But I'm trying to minimize this, but those I will always have on hand because one, they don't go bad. You know, they're not going, you can keep them. And I try to get them not just holiday themed because again, we don't know who celebrates Christmas or not. So I like to keep a wide variety, and I have so many. I will say from like mid-November to the end of December, I have people like, can I come look? Can I come look? Can I come look? Can you bag me up something? And then I do a lot of Scent Circle room sprays and some of like the more manly scents because, and I'll package them in a mug with a candy cane and a hot chocolate or whatever, because I have so many people that are going, like their secret Santa is a guy from their work.
Yeah.
And they're like, I don't know what to get this guy. And so I'm like, hey, I have, you know, Scent Circle room spray. They can refresh it. Mystery Man, like the woodsy, manly, musky scents. And I will tell you, like, that is, like I said, mid-November to end of December. It is daily, if not multiple times a day. Like, I need a gift. I need a gift. I need a gift. I have people, my mother-in-law started it and it has just grown. She literally has me do all of her gifting for her entire office. We get those photo boxes from Michael's, and you can get them cheap if you find them at the right time. Don't necessarily have to be holiday, but she will give me a budget and I will load it full of stuff, wall fan diffusers and pods and flowers. And she's like, I need for this, 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 and this. And here's my $300 budget. And people love that aspect of taking that stress off of them for shopping. They don't have time to shop and wrap and go to this party while they're trying to do their own Christmas stuff. So if you guys have extra rewards, if this is your first season, and you have rewards coming up and you don't obviously offer the opportunity, but if you need to stock up on stuff, I would say fragrance flowers, hand soaps, mini fans, pods, things like that are easy to package up and they're cheap. 25 and under. A pod and a mini fan is $25. People usually, a secret Santa is around 25 and under. So keep those. 11 for the room spray Scent Circle, like it's a $10 gift. So keep those on hand because you will get the people saying, oh my God, I forgot about this. Oh my gosh, I forgot about this. Cousin, I have someone that just orders a few things just for random people that show up. If so-and-so brought their new girlfriend and I didn't know they were coming, guess what? I have a gift ready to go for them.
Another thing about a lot of people, you notice that Brandy didn't say, wax. She said all of our other stuff because first of all, some people, if you gift just wax, they may not have a warmer. And what's the first thing they're going to do? They're going to go to Walmart and buy the warmer. But she did mention the pods and those fan circle things. And we monopolize that. There's nobody that sells anything quite like that. And when they need a refill, they're gonna have to come to someone that sells Scentsy. So don't forget to include your label on the inside. Looking for one that has label. Your label, no matter where you put it, you need to put your information. You don't have to put your face on it if you don't want to, but it needs to go somewhere on the box, somewhere on the bottom of the product, maybe not like on the product because I don't feel like that's okay. But make sure that your information is there because when they need a refill, they're going to have to find somebody that sells Scentsy and it should be you. There you go, Brandy. Yep, we're on the inside of the circle thing. So it needs to have it. And it's not It's not tacky. If some people think it's tacky to add your labels to it, it's not. This is your business. When you go and you purchase from, say, for example, there's this bath shop down this in like center of town, and they're called Bubbly, and they put their business cards and their labels on every single product. And it's not tacky for them to do it. They want them to know, like, hey, this person bought this from Bubbly. Come back to Bubbly and buy it. Hey, your friend bought this from Scentsy. Scentsy great. And it's not like it's cheap dollar store stuff either. They're going to appreciate the value that goes into our products, and they're going to need to find it. So
Absolutely.
I
And also,
put,
sorry,
business.
does anybody
no, go
like
ahead.
Christmas cuddles? I will give these to you if you get them out of my house.
I've been mystery bagging those up and out. That and Poppy Fields and Fairy Tale Pumpkin.
Oh,
Out. Go, go, go.
5 years these have been sitting
Oh,
in my
yeah.
office.
I was gonna say, going along with the card and the label, some people feel like it's tacky when I package something up, there's a business card and my labels every single time, and it's doing them a service. They get this mini fan diffuser and they get this pack of pods and they love it, and their pods run out. Now what? They might remember that it's Scentsy, but if they threw away the pack, they have no idea what it was. I know it says it on the label and everything, but they might think it's Scentsy. If they've never heard of Scentsy, they might think it's a store. They might be looking for it, and it's not doing them. It's not being tacky. It's not being pushy. It's doing them a service. Because if I got something that I loved and I had no idea where to get it, I would be so upset. Now I have this mini fan that just sits around and I don't have anything to put in it. And it may not be someone, it may be an office party. You might not even really know the person that gave you that gift. So you might not feel like, yeah, I mean, realistically, most of us would be like, hey, where did you get that from? But if they can just go online and order more, how easy is that for them? So do not ever be afraid to put your info on there. You're doing a disservice if you're not.
agreed. And I love all these ideas of the grab and goes, the price points, and moving up on the holidays. So many people already know what they're going to need these gifts for. But do remember, as business owners, to give them ideas too, right? People know that they'll have secret Santas and things, so we need to be prepared. But also plant a seed of a new idea where you kind of have to go back old school, right? Like my mom always, like when we would go for the holidays and whatnot, she'd always bring a little hostess gift. That's just something that's been planted in my mind, how like the reception of that gift was always so like, oh my gosh, because it's so unexpected, but it's so appreciated to the recipient. So make sure you plant those seeds, because we're going into, I mean, there's so many opportunities. A lot of people get together to carve pumpkins together. If that person has offered to put all the tablecloths out and get all the nitty gritty and all the spoons and all the goop in their driveway, plant a seed literally with your VIP group. Hey, a great time. I know we just talked about wax, and I don't mean this, but it's the only thing I have handy, but something that's like a $10, because these, with the $30 bundle and save option, this gets to be $10 because we know the wax bars then are $5. So something that's like $8 to $10 grab, again, doesn't have to be wax because we just talked about why, but something that they can just grab that's themed. Maybe it's jack-o'-lantern ribbon, maybe it's something cute where it's just a quick, I thought, that kind of gift to me says, I thought of you and I thought enough of you to act on it. And that's the kind of posturing you can give your VIP group, is maybe they haven't thought, gosh, instead of bringing a casserole, maybe I should bring a hostess gift because she's going to be spraying down goop in her driveway. And I want to give her something for appreciation. And I want to make sure she does it again next year. Or, then we're coming right up on Thanksgiving. They have the cute little oven mitts at the dollar store that are legitimately adorable. I found Buffalo Plaid, Brandy. And then you can stick like a little spatula and a hand soap, right? Because how many times are you going to be washing your hands during the Thanksgiving prep? Something that just says, thank you so much for opening up your home. And these are the words to use in your VIP group, because you're planting a new seed with them. Maybe it's not something they grew up doing or seeing, but it can start a new tradition. And at the price point of $10, $5, $8, depending on what we are popping in a cute little gift, those are when people are going to say, and be ready, ladies, because it will probably be last minute. Can I pop by and grab one of those? I'm on my way. So if it's something where you are going to put it out there, do make sure that you have the rewards available or you have the funds available to order in before you're getting that cash payment, right? To have them ready and accessible, because most people aren't going to let you know 2 weeks in advance. It's going to be like 2 minutes in advance. I'm driving by your house. Can I grab something? So do have, if you hop on Pinterest, I've been on there too much today, but they have all these cute little porch setups you can do where you can get a chalkboard sign that says like Scentsy Porch. They have a cooler outside. You can pop their things in there and it's kind of like a leave the money under the mat or do a Venmo exchange. Your products are out for your convenience at your pickup time. These are all like buzzwords that the more convenient we can make it for them. Again, coming back to the opportunity talk, not only are you enhancing your own PRV, not only are you enhancing that customer experience and giving them value, right? Not just an experience, but you're providing value, but you're also coaching all of these potential new team members how easily this can be done. Because sometimes in our mind, we already chalk it up to, gosh, I see everything they do and I just don't have that time, or I'm just not that creative, or I don't know how to work a computer like they do. If we show them how we can make this so easy and simple, fun, engaging, valuable, they are going to be so much more likely to say yes to your gifted kit and the opportunity for their own personal portal. So this all starts to go hand in hand. So I would encourage you to sit with your thoughts today, sit with your ideas, your creativity, because there's always a way to lace your creativity to the business opportunity and the value that we can offer to our customers as well. We just have to find the right thread to pull, because once that happens, you know, it's like you can add the next bead and the next bead, and suddenly the excitement and the momentum starts, and the overwhelm and the confusion fades away because your momentum is so strong. There's nothing that then gets in your way. You have an idea. You're like, you know what? I can do this. I'm going to act on it, because having an idea is not enough. And that's just real talk, right? I have a Pinterest board full of ideas. That's not helping me get to where I want to be. That's not helping me with my goals. That's not helping me with where I am destined to want to end up. Action is what sets that into reality. So find those great boards, pin them, save them, then act on them and start now, because starting now, you are going to be prepared for jack-o'-lantern season. I mean, there's so many things we can talk about, right? Like jack-o'-lanterns, Thanksgiving, Christmas, planting seeds that people don't know about, right? Like potentially what their kids' achievements are doing. I saw a statistic where it said public schools are down 1.6 million in not attendance, but registration this year. So that means in this world, we've had such a shift. So many people are homeschooling. So many people are doing alternative methods of school. So having back to school little kits for the kids, right? Maybe they're changing a room in their house now to a classroom. Maybe they need some jammy time, some Luna, something calming, something to set the tone in their home. It's our job to start thinking creatively and giving our customers these ideas that they don't already even know they need. We're thinking of the need before
it's actually needed.
Yes. So that would be my encouragement today with you guys, with an idea I would leave you with.
How cute would it be for like the travel twist for Halloween and Thanksgiving? You can put like a little pumpkin on the front of it, or even on the back if you want to like put like a little pumpkin with like a little stem. You could print those out or get like the Dollar Tree chicks, Dollar Tree, Dollar Street,
Or general or tree.
Dollar Tree, sorry, Dollar Tree. And then for your pods, you can do like for Christmas, you can do snowman. You know how fun. I was just like, ugh. And then
Cute.
even in the
So
summer, you could do, or for back to school, you can put like a crayon box, like a little crayon box, and then have like little crayon, like not real crayons, just paper crayons sticking out like that, and be like, oh, I'm so excited to be with you this year. Happy back to school thing. Or like a sun or something. Oh,
Yes.
So cute.
Even, and thinking bigger on that exact idea, is there are still classrooms. There is still traditional learning, right? That's still always going to be the most attended, always. connecting with a teacher and letting them know a little bit of Velcro on the back of this or a command strip, sticking them under students' chairs. Genius. PE, I can't even imagine what that's like to get your class back from PE or outside recess. It's like PU, man. You know, adolescent.
Just Scentsy Fresh those kids down. So they come into the class like pew, pew, pew,
I gave
pew.
Scentsy Fresh to our Peyton's teacher, and she told Peyton, I smell so good. I gave her Johnny Appleseed. She's like, it smells so good. I took it home. So now I'm going to give her another one for the classroom. Like she sprayed it, loved it, and was like, tell your mom I took it home. So like now I've got a Scentsy person because guess what she's getting for Christmas? Some more for her room. But yeah, those teachers, I mean, that's opening up an entire new thing. Like her other teachers come into her classroom. What does that smell? Oh, it's Scentsy. So and so's mom sells Scentsy. Or if you're on that level with those teachers, have her have a party, give her testers, give her this stuff for them to try. They put it in the break room. I've had so many bag parties for teachers that are so successful, and there's cheap enough stuff because poor teachers do not make enough money, but there's enough stuff that they can make their classroom smell good for a small amount of money. And I mean, my most successful bag parties are for teachers, and they just set it up I make a bunch of testers, samples, and they just set it up in the break room, and the order forms, catalogs, and they just run with it. It's the easiest, most simple way to get orders and get customers. And I say they have to fill out the entire top. So I have their email, I have their phone number, I have their address.
Yes.
So I can now follow up with them. And it is I will say those are my best bag parties. And I give them a warmer, and I give them a spray, and I give them a lotion, because, you know, teachers are always putting lotion on. They're always washing their hands. They're always doing this. And it's the easiest, most non-committal way to book a party because they're just sharing it. So like Katie said, think of different ways to get your product in other people's hands. And like, this is a brand new teacher. She's brand new to the school. So I wanted her classroom smelling amazing so that all these other teachers are like, why does your room not smell like stinky little kids?
Yes.
And now she took it home, and now we know that she has a dog. So guess what? She's getting some pet stuff. Like, you got to listen to your surroundings, and like you said, just find ways to help them, to service them, to make their lives easier.
Yes.
And it's just organically going to come to you because you're providing something that benefits them. You're not selling them a product, you're giving them something that benefits them. If you can take the stress, like Courtney does gift wrap, if you can take that stress off someone, guess who they're going to think of, not just for Christmas, Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, all these little things that pop up, you're going to be in the forefront of their mind. And then you follow up with your customer service. How'd you like it? Hey, what did you think? Have you heard back from that lady? What does she think of it? If you stay in their forefront of their mind, they're going to come to you for the rest of the year, not just at Christmas time.
Yes. Leading with value, not selling a product. We are leading people to the product by showing the value. And just like Brandy said, we're talking about teachers because it's such a product that can value their classrooms. But when we talk about like make your lists, right? When we talk about the opportunity, make your lists of people that show the same kind of like behaviors, or they're on social media. You know, we look for these qualities, right? We talk about that. The same thing, I would encourage you to not just make a list of potential new team members, right? That's kind of in our wheelhouse of what we do, but think about the professional people in your world and start to think about how a specific product can add value to what they do. So when we were talking about the teachers and what we can provide for them, something I can speak into is my husband is a realtor. And so what we do is we offer scent crates to our realtors for open house. We call them open house crates. And what they can do is they can purchase the crate, and it's full of everything they can use at an open house to make that house smell desirable, because we know scent is the first thing people notice when they walk into a new environment. That is like scientific proven. And so we use that as value to our realtor community. We used to do baked cookies at open houses so that it would smell, you know, enticing like a home. Like, this is what it will smell like after school. And then we're like, we don't want to burn down what we're trying to sell. Not everybody wants you baking cookies in their house for 4 hours. And we know that we have products that you click something on, you push a button, you pop these puppies places, and it is going to smell like the most inviting environment you've ever walked into. And so find a teacher in your wheelhouse, find a realtor, find, I mean, the list literally could go on and on and on of these working professionals. And then what we've been talking about in our in this connection call is then pulling them to you, not pushing people away by being too salesy. Add the value by simply posting, teachers, let me tell you about something. And then what we just discussed at the beginning of this call, do it again and again and again. You guys, don't feel like you are over posting about something, because there is pure science behind it. It takes people 7 times, 7, to see or hear what you are trying to tell or show them. So playing show and tell with value is going to be the name of the game. Put it in your VIP group, pop it in your Instagram stories. I don't know about you guys, but if you watch, not necessarily the analytics, but if you just simply watch your numbers of who's liking maybe your post versus who's watching your stories, it is a massive difference. Make sure you're putting these things in your stories consistently, and you will be surprised too. You're like, man, anybody out there? And then all of a sudden people are like, hey, what was that thing you were talking about for teachers? Hey, what was that thing you were talking about for realtors? It works, but you have to stay on the consistent wagon. And the hard part is you have to do it even when you're not getting the response. Keep going, because it's just on the other side of consistency. 7 times. If you want to sell these to teachers, 7 times, 7 times. And I'm not talking about reaching out in a private message to someone 7 times. That's overstepping boundaries. I'm simply talking about showing this to your audience. Your audience can be your VIP group. It can be your social medias. It can be your Insta stories. It can be flyers. It can be in, if you do VIP Happy Mail, if you do VIP pop buys. These are all ideas of what counts for 7 times. This is not meant to be 7 reach outs. Personally, we got to make sure that that's a hard boundary, because that's going to be a push, not a pull. Posting 7 times, showing people your excitement, planting seeds with this thing. We know what it does. Now it's our job to show people what it could do, right? This doesn't just go in a bag. You pop Velcro or a command strip on this, this can go anywhere. New moms with diaper pails, teachers with under the chairs, garbage bags, or garbage things in the kitchen, stick this on the side. Toilets, back of toilets. I mean, the possibilities are endless, but people aren't thinking that. It's our job to make them think about that 7 times. Yes. So I know.
Yes, court cap boxes.
Oh, whoops. I forgot that there's a chat box on here. I'm not meant for this Zoom life, you guys.
You're good. You're fine. I just saw her. I knew she was trying to talk, and then I saw her typing. That's why I was looking for it.
Oh, yes. Okay. I found the chat box. So I know we're at the top of the hour and we're leaving you guys with a lot today. We really covered quite the spectrum. So I know I always like getting left with a task. I'm a checklister, I'm a to-do lister. I would encourage you to think about one thing we talked about today and hyper focus on one thing for a short period of time until you feel like you have perfected that, and then bring on another thing and hyper focus. And now you're able to do these 2 things kind of almost habitually, right? Like it almost becomes second nature. I would choose to, I mean, there's no wrong answer, but if you are not using your Instagram stories, that is where I would encourage you to start. It's going to feel weird. It's going to maybe feel beyond your wheelhouse. And that is where growth happens. If you're feeling those feels, you know you're in the right spot. There's nothing you can do to mess it up. You really can't mess up the feature. You can only enhance it. So start playing around with the buttons. There is a link capability now, which is amazing. If you're going to, I just threw it because I got so excited. If you're going to talk about these bad boys, you can link your website directly to it. Take the work out of it for your customers, lead them right to the value. Start somewhere today, but if you're feeling apprehensive about it, I promise you, you've picked the right thing. That's what I would say. Does anybody else have, I know we're at the top of the hour, but does anybody have anything else? Because I kind of got on an excited tangent there at the end. No? Awesome. Guys, this is fun. I've really, really loved our connection calls. I look forward to this every week. I don't know about you guys, but I always leave with a new idea, a refreshed momentum, excited. It's a great place to be. So share this excitement with others because we can't just keep it to ourselves. I feel like everybody should have this kind of place they get to come to every week. So keep that in mind when you share the opportunity to share it with confidence. We're only inviting people into the very best thing they're going to find. So on that note, go have a rockin' Thursday. Choose something that scares you. Rock it. Can't wait to see what you guys do. All right. Until next time, everybody. I got to find the end button. Okay. Bye.